has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
All right, into the final hour we go. I'm Ferrall along with Carver High in New York City. Good to have you with us on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. We'll get into the pucks now. The Stanley Cup playoffs. Things are changing rapidly because everybody loves hockey.
Everybody does love hockey as we get ready. First round is winding down. We got a couple of teams into the second round last night. One of them, the Toronto Maple Leafs. They win in Ottawa in Game 6, 4-2. They win the series in 6 games. Ottawa fought back and tied this game at 2.
Whoa.
Problem was they didn't get very far. Only a couple minutes after that. How about Max Pacioretty, of all guys, getting involved for Toronto on Sportsnet?
Domi and Holmberg. And Domi shot. The glove of Allmark in behind the net. Domi digs it out. Here's Domi for Pacioretty. Scores! Max Pacioretty!
I mean, that guy has disappeared off the face of the earth. And now all of a sudden he's scoring for the Leafs? He never plays.
He's had a real rough couple years. I mean, since his days in Montreal and Vegas, and obviously where he played. Well, then he went to Carolina with the Capitals, but so many injuries, so many missed seasons. He caught on with Toronto this year, hasn't really been a full-time player. But, man, scored a huge goal for them last night as he sends them on into the next round where they'll face Florida in the second round against the Panthers. So
welcome to hell.
Welcome to hell. I'll give you those in a moment. Vegas also moving on last night. 3-2 win against the Wild in St. Paul. They win the series in 6 games. A little insurance extend to 3-1 last night for Mark Stone on ESPN.
Wrist run through traffic. Stop. Eichel had an empty net and fanned on the shot. Twice. He went down to block it. Eichel could have ended the game there. Another life for the Minnesota Wild. That shot deflected by Mark Stone out of midair. And it's a 2-goal lead for the Golden Knights.
Good night, Irene. They had Eichel and Stone on the same line. And let's just get down to business. They're better than Minnesota. And
yes,
I thought the Wild would send it back to Vegas for Game 7. I really did. And they didn't. And Vegas wins. It's over. And now they get the pleasure, right? What's their pleasure, Carver High?
Well, their pleasure is going to be the Edmonton Oilers.
Have fun with that.
Who beat the Kings 6-4. They won the series in 6. Before I get there, that was also last night for Minnesota, the end of the career for Marc-Andre Fleury.
The Flower.
3 cups. Vezina in 2021. 575 wins. That's second all-time. 92 playoff wins. 4th all-time. He's eligible to go into the Hall of Fame in 2028. And I'll give you a little tip now. He'll be in the Hall of Fame in 2028. He's going to go into the mall the first year he's eligible. Going to the mall. He ain't gonna be waiting past 2028 if that's when he's first eligible.
They should put him in that little window right next to Lemieux and like honestly, like that place is something else.
We do it all the time. Every time it comes up, can we get them somewhere in Toronto where they have their own building and not be in the basement of a mall? Like it's
next to the Tim Hortons
Hall of Fame.
I
mean, what are we doing here?
In the mall basement. For 50, it costs you $50 to get in, too.
The Oilers eliminated the Kings for a 4th straight season. That was as gutless as it gets, what the Kings did in that series. Winning the first 2 games. They blew that 4th game in Edmonton, which they should have been up 3-1 going home. And then they just got completely whacked last night. I know it was 2-2. They, once again, they couldn't stop anything.
They got puck lined.
Edmonton was doing. Couldn't stop anything last night. And now Oilers Vegas, that's going to be fun. Now, Vegas beat them 2 years ago when Vegas was on their way to winning their cup. It's going to be an interesting series because I don't know if you're going to get the same stuff you saw with the Kings. I don't think you're getting with Vegas these 7-5, 7-4 games every night. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a tighter series with these two.
Yeah, listen, I guess that's very possible. I'm not going to question you. I think you know your stuff for sure. And I also think I'm just not getting off of them. I have been on them for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. From the beginning of this season, I told you, they're the best team, in my view, money-wise, playoff-wise, in the league. It's Florida and Edmonton still. They're the 2 best money teams in the NHL. And I think the Vegas Golden Knights are really good, and we thought they'd win the series. And I think they're going to lose to Edmonton. Edmonton, it's like written in, it's like in stone to me that they're going to go back. I just think they always find a way. They're down 4 goals and they tie the game. They're down 3-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Next thing you know, it's 3-3 and we're sitting here tripping. They just don't go away. They're like a stalker. I mean, honestly, I just can't get off of them, and I don't even care about them, but I think they're the team. For me, I think they'll beat Vegas.
Yeah, I'm very stubborn. I'm going after them again. I can't. I'm not. I know they just keep doing it, and
So you're going Vegas.
I am, and now I'm sure Edmonton's just gonna keep hitting me over the head with the mallet, but I'm gonna just keep. I'm gonna keep going after them.
It's a meat tenderizer, actually. It's the same one my mother used to beat me with when I was a child in the back of my legs and my hamstring area.
It hasn't been fun the last 2 years, but I'm going to try it again. I'm going to go after them one more time around in this next round. What a wild game in Colorado last night.
Whoa.
Avs beat Dallas 7-4 to tie the series at 3s. They're going to play a Game 7 tomorrow night. Now, this game was wild. Tied at 4 in the third period. And we talk about this all the time in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Sometimes it's just a weird bounce that changes your fortunes, and that's precisely what happened at Dallas here on Altitude Sports.
It's been very noticeable. McKinnon sends it in front, loose puck, slammed away by the Stars. Score! They threw it into their own net.
It was unbelievable.
Weird.
An own goal.
Own goal. Guy goes to clear it, takes a weird bounce, hits off a guy back, goes in the net. I mean, just a totally bizarre goal. That ends up giving them the 5-4 lead, and then they were able to finish the job from there, and they will play a 7th game. Now, I said this to you earlier. You brought it up also. Peter DeBoer, the head coach of the Dallas Stars, is 8-0 in Game 7s as a head coach, and he's done that through New Jersey, Vegas, San Jose, and Dallas. Get ready for another one, Coach.
Pete, 2 questions. First, to piggyback off of that, you've never lost one of these Game 7s. Do you like Game 7s?
I'd rather win in 6. Yeah, I'd rather win. I like Game 7s at home. I can tell you that. I think that's an advantage for us being at home and going home.
Well, I don't believe any of that anymore. I saw the greatest Game 7 road win in my life at Joe Louis Arena when the Penguins beat the Red Wings after losing in 2008 to them in the Stanley Cup Finals. They beat them in Game 7, and guess who was the goalie? Fleury. And Flower made the save of a lifetime at the end of that game with 1 second left, and they won the cup. But I'll say this. I'm not betting against them in Dallas, and I'm not betting against him. I'm not betting against some guy that's 8-0 in Game 7s or a team that when they play in that building, they kick the Avs' ass. That's it.
That's it. It's that simple.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
I'm sitting here watching the Formula One, time trials and everything in Miami. It's fascinating to me, the difference. Like we were talking with Luke, he loves both Formula One and NASCAR. And I've been to tons of NASCAR races, Carver High, but I've never loved it. I just never thought I go for the party. I never went for the race. I never cared about the race. I cared about going to the infield and throwing down because there's always just this outrageous parties. And then Formula One, I actually like watching it. I don't know why. I tried to explain it earlier that it's the money, the diamonds, the champagne, the women, the technology, the cars are more powerful, the road courses are badass. Everything about it is like, and when they do it in Monte Carlo and stuff, I just think there's Bahrain, all the rest, all over Spain, everywhere, all over the world. There's something about it that just makes it cooler to me than NASCAR.
There's definitely a little bit more of a glitz and glimmer to it, that's for sure. With all the celebrities and like you said, just everything that goes with that. And the driving of it, of course, is a little bit different as well. NASCAR stuff, we've had this talk a billion times. I just can't invest myself in 3 or 4 hours of 1,600 left turns. I can't invest myself in that. And I know some of the race people will probably, you don't know. How dare you? It's just true. It is what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. You want to give me an alert on my phone when there's 10 laps left in the race? Yeah, I'll come in. Sure. I'll
then there'll be another yellow.
But I'll tell them what their real problem is. And I sound like a broken record saying this to you all the time. Go find some people that I've actually heard of driving those cars. Why don't you go do that? And then you'll really start to get guys like me and others to maybe tune in again like you used to have. You got nobody that anyone's invested in. Nobody. They have no stars. They've lost them all, and they haven't come up with new ones. They have stars in their world, but they don't have stars that expand out beyond racing.
Wrestling is more popular.
Yeah. I mean, they've got plenty of guys that could walk down the street in Manhattan, and people would be all over them knowing who they are. NASCAR has no one that would happen with right now. No one that would happen with. All right, Game 7 tomorrow night. Stars and the Avalanche. This will be in Dallas. -135. Colorado is the road favorite for this game tomorrow night. We'll do the Game 7 first. I know I'm getting all over the place here. But we're going to do the Game 7 first between these two. Dallas +115. 5.5 is the total tomorrow night, Game 7.
No, I got to tell you, that's amazing to me. That you're giving me that money and I got a coach that's 8-0 in Game 7s. Thanks so much. What is it, freebie night at the OK Corral? Give me the Stars.
Look, I'm taking the Stars. It's really not – I'm not really because of the DeBoer. I think the DeBoer thing is –
overrated.
It's just kind of freaky. Like, I think it's kind of just stars aligning type of stuff. I don't really put much stock into it. I think it's just happenstance, honestly, that he's 8-0 in Game 7s. I mean, we're talking.
You know what's funny is that he is. He's 8-0.
He is. But I don't think when I look at it, I'm not going with them tomorrow night because of that. I'm going with it because I think Dallas at home, they've played a lot better than people thought they were going to play in this series because they didn't have Robertson, they didn't have all these guys. They are in this for the fight. They lost on a fluke goal last night.
Beat them with a game winner.
He has gotten better every game. Every game, Rantanen has felt more comfortable. And I took him this afternoon on the hockey show to have a goal tomorrow night. I think that Rantanen is going to absolutely be the guy that leads the way. All right,
the hockey show on SportsGrid Fridays at 2.
Hockey show, NHL Today. Tonight we have a Game 6 first between Winnipeg and St. Louis. Of course, the Jets will look to close out the Blues this evening in St. Louis. As of right now, -115 for the Blues I've got right now. -105 for the Jets. So the Blues, slight favorite at home. 5.5 the total here too.
Yeah, I'm going Blues again. I think we'll have a Game 7 Sunday in Winnipeg. I like St. Louis at home, and I think they'll get it done. The llast time, what was it? They were up 4-1 and then 5-1. I mean, like, they're brutal to play in St. Louis. They don't lose in that building. It's been forever since they lost a game at home in that building. I'm going to go St. Louis tonight.
I told you I was going to do this a lot today. I'm going the Rogie Vachon here, too. I'm actually going to...
Look at this guy.
I know. I'm going with it. I don't know why I'm doing this, but for some reason, I actually think that this Hellebuck is going to play like a MVP finalist tonight. I don't know why. He got shelled both games in St. Louis, but I think you're going to get a big game from Hellebuck, which is why I'm going to go with
Winnipeg. I think you'll get Sunday
shut the door. So, and if it does, I'm on the Jets again Sunday if there's a game.
Yeah,
I'm going right back to the Jets if they get them there. And that will be the winner of these two that are left or who play each other. So there's not going to be much rest advantage. The winner of Colorado-Dallas, Game 7, is going to play the winner of this series, Winnipeg and St. Louis, in the second round. And they'll probably give them a few days, I would think, Tuesday or Wednesday.
The winner of Dallas Avs will win that semi.
I agree with you on that. Now, the other series are all set. They will not start. A couple of them will start Monday, I believe. Washington and Carolina, I'm pretty sure, is going to start Monday. All three of these series, the teams that don't have home ice are favored. So Carolina's favored over Washington in the series. They're -150. Florida's favored over Toronto. They're -176 for the series. And I saw it change. I saw it pick them, but then I saw Edmonton a slight favorite. There it is, -118 over Vegas in their series.
Yeah, look, so I'll go rogue. I like Washington, Florida, Edmonton, and Dallas.
I'll go two out of 3 with you. I'm going Washington. I think Toronto's going to give Florida a little bit of a harder time than people think, but I think Florida will still beat them. And me and you already said I'm going Vegas against. I can't quit. I can't quit hating on the Edmonton Oilers.
Fail.
So I'm going to do it one more time. You did mention this was going to happen yesterday, and it did. Sully is the coach of the Rangers. That we knew that was going to happen the moment he left.
Highest paid coach in the league now.
Big bucks.
Cosmo was supposed to fight Ciaran Clark, but he had to pull off injury. You get the call. You get to go in there. What was it like for you when you got that call, jumping in there and be part of this bantamweight tournament on short notice?
Terrifying, man. 2 weeks notice against a stud, but I've been preparing my whole life for it, and I couldn't say no to the opportunity, and saw what happened. I came in there and kind of shocked the world. Not kind of, I did.
Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We know your other brother Marv did the Knicks forever, but you've done just about every team in the league. You did Ames. You did Dr. J games.
But after 45 years in this crazy business, people kept telling me, you got to write a book. So I did, and here it is.
Ferrall, Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Jesus, Mafia ruining my buzz. I could have sworn that kid was in Cobra Kai. It was the driver in the Gran Turismo movie. Who cares? Brad Pitt's coming out with a Formula One movie. I can't. They just took it off the time trials, and now there's some horrible talk show on, and it's like a car crash right when I was enjoying Formula One, and now it's over. So now it's time to talk baseball.
It is time to talk baseball, and I am not sure at all of any of those shows or movies that you're talking about. I've seen, obviously, Cobra Kai, but I have not seen that other one that you're talking about. The what was it? The Grand...
I thought the tall kid. You remember the tall Spanish kid with the mother that Johnny's... the other kid... What's the other guy's name? Not Johnny, but the other... It is Johnny. Johnny's girlfriend's son... I thought played the driver in Gran Turismo. I thought he was in Cobra Kai and played the driver in the Formula One movie.
There you go. So now we've got it all straightened out. It is baseball time. Are you ready? Here we go. Big slate tonight. Everybody's playing. It's Friday night. We got to get going. A few things from last night first. By the way, I usually don't like to do things like this, but I will. What a night. Ringing the bell last night.
What did we do? What do we got?
Me?
What do we got?
I mean, you can't be serious, man. I mean, we had not one, not two,
boom,
3 last night.
And
big
2
flies.
the night before. So 5
Vlad
in the last 2 nights.
And great prices, too, because we had Vlad last night. It was $5. You had the Ramos from the Giants, who was plus 680. And then Torkelson late night went yard as well.
360.
So we had a great night for the Taters for us here on Coast to Coast. So great stuff.
Everybody
all
loves
around.
Taters.
Nats beat the Phillies 4-2 last night. The Jays beat the Red Sox because of that Vlad big fly that we were just talking about. Tigers beat the Angels 10-4. The Tigers are the first team in the American League to get to 20 wins.
Whoa.
And I feel like they've been flying under the radar doing it too. Like nobody talks about the Tigers.
No one. Because the Pistons are more popular.
They've had that going on, but they made the playoffs and they won a series last. They were in the mix last year. The Tigers.
Yeah.
The Angels, by the way, you knew this was coming.
Here we
They
go.
put Mike Trout on the IL with a bone bruise in his left knee. So,
like, how did that happen? What did he run into?
Yeah,
I don't understand how he's already injured. And here we go.
injured.
I mean, this will be the first stint on the IL, and I'm sure more to follow.
I would sure more to follow as well. It's just sad if because look, you want to see the guy play. Mike
He's
Trout,
a great
and
player, but he
doesn't-
never
just doesn't
plays.
play. Break up the Rockies. They've won 2 in a row. Remember they beat
Liar.
Atlanta the other day at home. They won in San Francisco last night. They had a rally too. 4-3. They beat the Giants. Bad job by the Giants. Can't lose at home to the Rockies. And the A's beat the Rangers 3-0 while we were on yesterday. They have won 11 of their last 16 games.
Whoa.
The A's, as they head to Miami this weekend to see the Fish. And I think that Bellozo the Clown is starting for Miami tonight. So hopefully we can get some long balls out of the A's down there on South Beach. Jose Ramirez, first player in Cleveland history with 250-plus homers and 250-plus steals. Congrats to him. And the Yankees put Jazz Chisholm on the IL with an oblique strain. I just saw Boone say, 15 minutes ago, they think it's going to be in the 4 to 6 week variety that Jazz is going to be out. So he's going to be out a while. No Jazz. And I thought that as soon as you start talking about obliques, it ends up being a month plus for all these guys. So
I tore mine and I crumpled over on the floor. It's just a bad scene. That hurts. I mean, I went over like a tree. Boom, on the ground.
Yeah. But the thing is, they just don't have. I saw somebody bring this up today, and I don't mind it. Can they get that Ben Rice to take ground balls at second? Can they just because their lineup is
Because they said they didn't have any room for him out on the field. Meanwhile, the guy's raking.
Guy destroys the ball. He just got. Even if he's got a frying pan out there, just let him knock him down, and at least come on. Tell me the guy can't
idea.
field
Frying
the
pan. If
ball?
we ever can, Mavi, are you allowed to use a frying pan on the?
Get him
No.
a frying pan. We do have all the games for tonight that we have to go through when we come back. Everybody's playing, and we have long balls as well tonight. Gotta Stay
Taters.
hot with the long
Everybody
balls.
loves taters.
Tater time.
Cosmo was supposed to fight Ciaran Clark, but he had to pull up injury. You get the call. You get to go in there. What was it like for you when you got that call, jumping in there and be part of this bantamweight tournament on short notice?
Terrifying, man. 2 weeks notice against a stud, but I've been preparing my whole life for it, and I couldn't say no to the opportunity, and saw what happened. I came in there and kind of shocked the world. Not kind of, I did.
Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We know your other brother Marv did the Knicks forever, but you've done just about every team in the league. You did games. You did Dr. J games.
But after 45 years in this crazy business, people kept telling me, you got to write a book. So I did, and here it is.
Ferrall, Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, so Juan Soto was hitting home runs at Citi Field, a couple of them.
Well, yeah, he hit 2 yesterday for the Mets. It's the first homers he's hit at Citi all day. I just wanted to play you this for you because we've kind of talked about, he switches the other side of town, goes from the Yankees to the Mets. Mets are playing great, but he's gotten off to a bit of a slow start, I guess you could say. I mean, you guys getting almost $800 million in this contract. You got to think there's a little bit of pressure on him, right, to perform well, especially out of the gate. And, of course, you know what his answer is going to be, Scotty. What do you mean pressure? I don't care about it. I don't have any pressure on me. I just show up every day. You're Soto.
Actually seeing results and getting, first 2 home runs out of the way here. Does that take any weight off of you? Any pressure on you?
I mean, what pressure? I mean, I don't have any pressure. These guys, Mendoza has been really clear with me to make me feel comfortable and going out there and play. I don't have any pressure at all, so it's just 2 homers that weren't enough to get the win, so whatever.
Yeah, listen,
I don't believe
whatever that is, when you make as much money as he does for the next 15 years, this guy does not have a care in the effing world. He's getting his money whether he hits home runs or not. If the guy hits 200, he's getting his money. So what pressure? How is there pressure? You know what that is? That's everybody with their New York bullshack. That it's so hard to play in New York. He did great with the Yankees. He's going to eventually do great with the Mets, whether you like it or not. And he's getting all of his $750 million. Pressure. Who has pressure when they have that kind of money coming in? Honestly, I'm surprised he doesn't have 5 wives.
He could say all he wants. There's no pressure. There's absolutely pressure. When somebody gives you $800 million, $770, whatever it was, $1 million,
he's getting the money
pressure.
Either way.
The reason why the pressure hasn't been as bad is because they've been good without him being good.
Fair enough.
Been good. And that's
They're
why
winning.
he hasn't had to hear it. Because
It's not his problem.
If the Mets were 14-30 right now,
they'd be blaming him.
He was hitting the way he has hit so far, they would be all over him. They're giving him a pass right now because they're the best. They've got one of the 3 or 4 best records.
Do you think he'll heat up when it warms up? It's not. It hasn't been warm. Every night's 60 degrees.
I'm sure he's going to be fine. I'm sure that he'll get going. We watched him last year with the Yankees. We've seen him. You know he's a monster. Once he gets things cooking. All right, let's go tonight. Everybody's playing. Maybe not. There are a couple spots where we could see some rain tonight. One of those is in Cincinnati, where the Nationals and the Reds are going to get together. Mitchell, Parker Lewis, Can't Lose, and Hunter Green are the starters. They've already announced, Sky, that this is not going to start on time. So it's not bagged yet, but they're going to at least start in a rain delay. Reds and the Nationals coming up, supposed to be just after 6 East. -2 Bills for the Reds and an 8.5.
Well, I'm just not going to go against our trend, which is I think Hunter Green's great, but I think I'll never bet against Parker doesn't lose.
Parker Lewis can't lose. That's for sure. Another spot where you could see some weather at some point, maybe just delay type weather with some storms, is in Pittsburgh, where the Padres and the Pirates open up a series. Dylan Cease and Mitch Don't Call Me Helen Keller tonight. Padres -$150, Buccos +125, and an 8.5.
This is obvious, right? The Friars. And I think that guy's still in a critical condition that fell out of the stands. The football player. He played college football, but I think he tipped over the railing and fell 21 feet. He's still a mess, that guy in Pittsburgh, allegedly, right? That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I have not heard any other update besides that over the last couple of days. So hopefully he's going to start doing better.
That's as bad as the Elway guy, the agent that died falling out of the golf cart. That story keeps changing by the day, too. Have you ever noticed that? They just keep changing that story. Who was in the golf cart? Who was driving the cart? Where he was. Now today I heard he was at a party before he started driving a golf cart, drinking.
I think
the sheriff said it was an accident. I don't believe anything now.
That was the last thing I saw about an hour ago, was that they put out a big press release that this was an accident. There's no wrongdoing here. Everything is, he fell off. Whatever was going on, he fell off the back of the golf cart, and he got injuries, and he passed away. So
I don't believe it.
Very, very strange, that story. Arizona is in Philly tonight at the bank. It'll be Merrill Lynch Kelly against Jesus Luzardo. Philly's minus $155, plus 130 for the Snakes, and a 9.5 big total.
Yeah, I got to go Luzardo here and the Phillies at the bank. And give me a Schwarbaum and a Bryce. Can I get a little love?
Yeah, you got a righty like Kelly in there tonight. That's usually a night that those guys heat up. Well, I think I do have one of them coming up here in the tater time momentarily. The Rays get themselves out of Tampa for a couple days. I know they're spending most of their first half there, but they're at the stadium against the Yankees. Ryan Pepio against Max Fried this evening. Big number here, minus 250 for the Yanks. Plus 205 for Tampa and an 8.5.
Well, I mean, I'm on Fried Chicken. He's 5-0 with a 1.1 ERA. I'll run line the Yankees all day here. Fried Chicken's been their best pitcher by far.
Certainly has. Royals are in Baltimore against the Orioles. Michael Waka against the Dean. Dean Kramer, man, he has been a gas can this year. But the Orioles are minus 145 tonight, plus 120 for the Royals and a 9.5.
I mean, the Royals are on fire, and I'm going. They won again Thursday, a 3-game sweep. Give me the Royals and plus money, and Waka Waka.
Cleveland, north of the border to Toronto. Logan Allen and the Basset Hound tonight. Minus 165 for the Blue Jays, plus 140 for Cleveland, and an 8.5.
I'm all over the Basset Hound, basically at this point, whenever he pitches.
Minnesota at Fenway this weekend. It'll be Ballo against Joe Don't Call Me Jack Ryan. Minus 120 for the Sox, even money for the Twins, and an 8.5.
Scott Baio. Give me the Red Sox again at Fenway.
To Miami we go next, where the A's, who we just told you have been red hot, come in to take on the Marlins, who just got beat up in L.A. Earlier this week. It'll be Gunnar Hoglund pitching for the A's tonight. Who? That would be Gunnar Hoglund making his major league debut against, here he is, Valente Belazzo the Clown, going for the Marlins. A's minus 135.
Belazzo the Clown.
Marlins plus 115. And a 9.5.
I mean, I got to take the A's because they win every night, 11 out of 16, over Belazzo the Clown.
I will say, I think that game, 9.5, I don't think they can make it. They can't make that number high enough. I think both guys might get pounded tonight. Marlins stink, but they've actually been hitting the ball a little bit. You get a lot of runs with the A's and the Marlins this evening. Dodgers are in Atlanta against the Braves tonight. Yamamoto takes the hill. Grant Holmes. Big Grant Holmes going for Atlanta. Minus 185 for the Dodgers. Plus 155 for the Braves. And a 9.5.
Give me Quasimodo and the Dodgers on a run line special tonight in Hot Town, Atlanta.
Houston is in Chicago against the White Sox. Framber Valdez against Jonathan Cannon. Minus 250 for the Stros, plus 2 bills for the White Sox, and a 7.5.
Well, you would think this would be Valdez, but he's pitched horribly. So give me Cannon cameras on the south side.
Whoa, that is a Rogie Vachon play of the night for the baseball. I got like 5 other games in the homers. That will do it for them.
Cosmo was supposed to fight Ciaran Clark, but he had to pull off injury. You get the call. You get to go in there. What was it like for you when you got that call, jumping in there and be part of this bantamweight tournament on short notice?
Terrifying, man. 2 weeks notice against a stud, but I've been preparing my whole life for it, and I couldn't say no to the opportunity, and saw what happened. I came in there and kind of shocked the world. Not kind of, I did.
Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We know your other brother Marv did the Knicks forever, but you've done just about every team in the league. You did games. Yeah. You did Dr. J games.
But after 45 years in this crazy business, people kept telling me, you got to write a book. So I did, and here it is.
Ferrall, Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
So you're telling me, Luke, I am your father, just told us that, what did he say? That they're wearing the Southside Johnny and the Jukes jerseys.
Yeah, they're wearing the Bulls. They're wearing the Bull jerseys. Those one we showed on the show
City
the other
Connect.
day. Those City Connect Bulls-inspired White Sox jerseys. And you're
automatic
on them, so
dub.
Let's see if the cannon can fire off
Cannon
for us
cameras.
tonight. Seattle has been red hot as well. They're now 18-12 on the year. They're in Arlington. The Rangers are now 500 because they've been beaten up by the A's the last couple weeks. Brian Wu against Jack Leiter tonight. Minus 125 for Seattle, plus 105 for the Rangers, and an 8.5.
I'm going to take Wu-Tang Clan and the M's over Don't Call Me Al Leiter.
Don't call me Al Leiter tonight in that one. All right, next up, we go to Milwaukee, where the Cubs and the Brewers will get together. Ben Brown going for the Cubbies tonight. Quinn Priester for Milwaukee, minus 120 for the Cubs, even money for the Brewers, and an 8.5.
Cubbies scored too much. Give me the Cubbies and the over, and your boy Brownie.
Mets and the Cardinals in St. Louis. Clay Holmes and Sonny Gray pitching tonight. Mets minus 120, even money for the Redbirds, and a 7.5.
Sonny Gray at Busch Beer.
Sonny Gray at Busch Beer this evening. Also tonight, the Tigers and the Angels go again. Tigers smashed them last night. And the bad news for the Angels is now they got to face Tariq Skubal tonight. So that's not fun. Jose Soriano goes for the Angels. Tigers are minus 190, plus 160 for Anaheim, and a 7.5.
Run line, Skubal and the Tigres.
And the Tigres. And finally, the Rockies and the Giants in San Francisco. Of course, the Rockies have won 2 in a row to get themselves to 6-25. Antonio Senzazella will go tonight. He has not been good to start the year.
Robbie Ray sucks. He's going to get lit up tonight.
He's going to get lit up. Robbie Ray for the Giants, minus 290, plus 235 for the Rockies, and an 8.5.
Robbie Ray's 3-0. Johnny Ray used to play for the Pirates. And I'll take anyone over your boy Sensimilia. That's a done deal.
That is a done deal for you. That is tonight's games. But, of course, we want to try to stay hot. Let's stay hot with some homers. 3 last night. I mean, I want to keep this thing rolling. We'll start in Philadelphia, where I mentioned Merrill Lynch Kelly goes for Arizona tonight. Got a big total. You got a bunch of guys with some good history against them. Plus 350 for Harper Big Bryce bomb. Now, look, Schwarber, it's like I've seen like plus 230, plus 220 for him. That's usually below my go zone. Bobby Witt Jr. tonight. I think that the Dean Kramer, going to get pounded by Kansas City. Plus 370 for Bobby Witt Jr. tonight. Christian Walker. Got a little bit of wind blowing out. I know you're on the White Sox, Scotty, but can I at least get Christian Walker to hit one off the cannon at plus 450?
Hey now.
Tyler, don't call me Tommy Soderstrom, will hit one off of Bellozo to Clown. Plus 480 for Soderstrom tonight down in Miami. Next, Cody Bellinger for the Yankees. Plus 550. A lot of Yankees with some real tough prices tonight going up against Pepio. We'll take Bellinger, who does have a homer off him in his career. And late night, balls were flying out of Anaheim last night. I'm going to try it again with Kerry Carpenter. Plus 580 in Anaheim off of Soriano. So there you go. A Friday night tater list with Harper, Witt, Walker, Soderstrom, Bellinger, and Carpenter. Let's go.
Taters. I love the Soderstrom, Belly. Witt is on fire, and Bryce, and I always like a Schwarber.
And I'll probably, like I said, I'm going to go after that Marlin A game. There's you want Rooker. I know Butler's out tonight. Butler's not playing. He's not in the lineup. But even those guys on Miami, Stowers and that kid Ramirez, there's a few guys that'll homer there. So there's your homers.
I have no idea who that is.
For tonight in that one. All right. You have done a lot. You did the Derby with It's Me, Gino B. Already. I got to tell you, I'm obviously I'm gonna play the race tomorrow. I haven't quite figured out yet who it is that I want to go with. Of course, with these horses getting scratched, you do now have this Baeza. Didn't Alexa the other day tell you that she liked that horse a lot if it got put into the field?
Yeah, Baeza, she loved. Our girl Alexa Led Zeppelin.
I got a feeling I might find a way, even though it's all the way on the outside, to get Baeza in somewhere on my card. But I'm a big jockey and trainer matchup, so I have to get through all that. Hopefully by tomorrow afternoon with all the stuff that I'm doing, I can get some Derby. And is there anyone you like after listening to Gino and Alexa and everybody the last few days that you like for the Derby?
Yeah, I mean, anyone that isn't a Bob Baffert. I think he only has one now. He had three, but now he has one. Bob. So I'm rooting that his horse goes down. That's what I hope.
That's right.
And I also am rooting against 8 hours of Bob Baffert television, which is all they ever do at the Triple Crown, is talk about Bob Baffert. You know what they should talk about is how he drugs horses. And then he gets busted for it, and they will still knob him to death that he's back at Churchill Downs and not that he drugs horses. Like, it's amazing to me how they knob this guy. I've never seen anything like it in sports.
I was watching an interview with him earlier today. They must have interviewed him after the second horse got scratched. But like you said, they're talking to him like he hasn't been thrown out of the place for the last few years. He's like still like this beloved.
He's like a god. He's like a god to them.
Bob,
it's absurd.
Thank you for talking to us, Bob. Thank you, Bob.
He's a criminal. He's a criminal.
Goodness.
He's a juicer. He is no different than any player that juices in baseball that they throw to the wolves every time they get busted for juicing. But this guy juices, and they still suck up to him like he's God's gift to racing. Meanwhile, he drugs all his horses. I mean, what more do you need to know?
As long as he doesn't win, we'll be fine.
As long as he doesn't win.
There,
and honestly, watching all these chicks with their big hats and everything, I'm going to drink bourbon all day and bet on horses. I want to win some money. I'm going to go with Gino B and our girl Alexa's buy.
Was supposed to fight Sierra Clark, but he had to pull off injury. You get the call. You get to go in there. What was it like for you when you got that call, jumping in there and be part of this bantamweight tournament on short notice?
Terrifying, man. 2 weeks notice against a stud. but I've been preparing for my whole life for it, and I couldn't say no to the opportunity, and saw what happened. I came in there and kind of shocked the world. Not kind of, I did.
Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We know your other brother Marv did the Knicks forever, but you've done just about every team in the league. You did Ames. Yeah. You did Dr. J games.
But after 45 years in this crazy business, people kept telling me, you got to write a book. So I did, and here it is.
Ferrall, Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's hook up with my guy, Rich Sermonello.
Hey, Scott, let's talk some NFL draft wrap-up. A lot to cover in a short period of time, so I'll talk as quickly as possible. First off, everybody has had their opinion on Shedeur Sanders. I'm no different. Looked like a first-rounder, winds up in the 5th round to the Cleveland Browns. A couple of quick takeaways. First off, this was parental malfeasance by Deion Sanders. I just thought he did an awful job. Someone who knows the NFL Hall of Famer, should have known better. The NFL draft is basically an interview process. Shedeur botched it. Part of it is his fault. I think a lot of it is Deion's fault. Now, having said that, I think as a 5th rounder, a lot less pressure. He can try to develop now. Not only is he not a first rounder, wasn't even the first quarterback selected by Cleveland. Dylan Gabriel goes in the 3rd round. Maybe a slice of humble pie is exactly what Shedeur needs at this point. He's going to have an opportunity. It's at Cleveland where, Kevin Stefanski has had a track record of developing quarterbacks. Cleveland needs a quarterback, so you got a shot, Shedeur. Let's see what you could do from this point moving forward. My favorite marriage of organization and player, Cam Scatterbo. I mean, Scott, I love this kid going back to the Sacramento State days, ASU last year. Giants fans, if you're looking to watch some football, check out the Peach Bowl from New Year's Day between Texas and Arizona State. That's what you're getting. I think we're going to see a love affair between the organization and Scatterbo. He is one of those grinded out type players. I think he's going to fit in really well with the organization. Now, in terms of teams, I haven't gone through all of the draft grades, but instantly I love what the Chicago Bears have done, not just in the draft, but going back through the beginning of the offseason. Caleb Williams is your quarterback. He's the franchise. If you're finally going to win a playoff game for the first time since 2010, he has to be the star. So what did they do? They hire Ben Johnson from within the division. Great pickup at head coach. They solidify the interior offensive line through free agency. And then in the draft, round 1, you get Colston Loveland. I thought it would be Tyler Warren, but Loveland looks like he'll be a better complement with Cole Kmet at tight end. And then in round 2, Luther Burden is going to be a star at wide receiver in the NFL. 6 foot, 200-pound, very physical slot receiver. I think he's going to be a favorite for Caleb Williams. So I like what the Bears have done. And just quickly, a bad draft for quarterbacks. Usually off of a bad draft for quarterbacks, we have a great one 2026. If you didn't get your quarterback in 2025, you're going to have a shot to do that next season.
Great job, Rich. Have a good weekend, buddy. It's time for leftovers because everybody loves leftovers.
Everybody does love leftovers. A couple things that actually just came across the wire recently that we'll update you on. First of all, when seasons end, usually it's just in hockey you find out about all the injuries, right? Like Tampa today put out like a sheet with like 15 guys who were hurt. You know Victor Hedman played with like a broken leg that whole series for Tampa against Florida? Well, on a smaller scale, LeBron suffered an MCL sprain in the Game 5 loss for the Lakers against the Timberwolves. So LeBron, the good news for him is he doesn't have any more games this season. It's maybe, but he's got no more games this year, so he doesn't have to worry about it. Baseball stuff too. The Red Sox just put Walker Buehler on the IL, so he'll be gone for a while. And Arizona gets Ketel Marte back tonight.
Kettle One.
Philly. The Kettle One Marte party tonight against the Phillies. So that's good news, too. I had some NFL most bet win total over-under since the draft, but, I mean, we could do that Monday. There's just too many good
I got a better NFL story for you. How about
you have a better
How about
NFL
your boy
story.
Steve Smith Sr. sued for, listen to this, the North Carolina homewrecker law. That is fantastic. The further you go south, you come up with this stuff. The homewrecker law, accusing him of an affair with a Ravens marching band member, allegedly. That is fantastic. Some guy's wife worked in the marching band for the Ravens, and your boy Steve Smith, the receiver, the great receiver, was allegedly getting involved with her, apparently, off the field. The fan, we told you, the 20-year-old Kayvon Markwood played college football, still in critical condition in Pittsburgh after falling out of the bleachers the other night. Russell Brand posts bail on Ravens sexual assault charges in London. How about this guy? He says, "You can see it in my eyes that I didn't do it." What? I was like, what? I don't even know what that means. Have an awesome weekend. Front Office Sports Today is next. Get my app, search Ferrall. We'll see you Monday on Coast to Coast.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong. It is incorrect.
He's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing your thing now where you double down on a take that is incorrect.
The best quarterback prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over
not
a 7th-round pick.
There were 2 perfectly rated quarterback recruits in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.